Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today, and today I'm going to be talking about the Houston Texans signing trading for Ben Skowronek from the Los Angeles Rams. Traded two pick swaps in the 2020, I think it was 2026 NFL Draft, 6th and 7th round pick swaps. Ben Skowronek has won a Super Bowl championship with the Rams, played with them for the last 3 seasons, had a really good 2022 season, could play special teams. And not only that, but, had a good 2022 season, like I mentioned, but the last couple seasons is not, 2023 season was not that great, but at the same time, opportunities did, go down for him because he did get to start, when they won the Super Bowl, he got to start 11 games in 2022. And then going into the 2023 season, you draft Puka Nacua, you have Cooper Kupp healthy, which he was not in 2022. And then you also bring in a guy like Demarcus Robinson, who, as a wide receiver 3, had a good season. So you add in Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Demarcus Robinson in the offense. I know Cooper Kupp has been with the Rams for years, but he basically wasn't with the team in 2022. He did play a little bit, but missed a lot of time for the Rams in 2022. So there were a lot of more opportunities for Skowronek in 2022 than there were in 2023. So 2022 he had 376 receiving yards. He had 66 receiving yards this year with 1 touchdown. He had some nice catches in their game this year against the Ravens. He had 133 receiving yards for 7 first down receptions in 2021 on their Super Bowl run. And he also won a Super Bowl championship. But what does he bring to the Texans? He's a big body. He's 6'3", he's 6'3", 224 pounds. It's pretty good for a wide receiver, and I think he is a good addition for C.J. Stroud. I mean, and not only does he bring an extra body. He's a big body at 6'3", 224 pounds, but it's an extra one too, because I feel like the Texans need extra wide receivers. Look at last season. You see the talent, right? You got Tank, you got Stephon, you got Nico, right? You got so much talent at that wide receiver position. Your wide receiver 4 is Noah Brown, who had 600-plus receiving yards last season with the Texans. So that shows a lot when your wide receiver 4 the season before with the same team put up 600 receiving yards and missed some time as well. He missed like 3 or 4 games in the 2023 season. But there were some injuries to the wide receivers last year. Tank Dell had an injury last year that caused him to miss the rest of the season. And not only did he miss the rest of the season, but also I want to note that he just got shot. I don't think that's going to really affect things, but that's another thing. Nico Collins, he missed a couple games of the 2023 season. He missed 2. Noah Brown missed some time. I'm going to go to John Mechie III, a guy who literally had leukemia. Robert Woods is someone who tore his ACL a couple seasons ago. Noah Brown had a couple injuries that he suffered last season. And there were multiple times last year where C.J. Stroud was without, or the Texans were without, multiple top wide receivers for this team. If you go back to the win in Tennessee, where Case Keenum got the start, that wasn't a game where C.J. Stroud was out without wide receivers because C.J. Stroud was out himself. But Case Keenum got the start against Tennessee. He didn't have Nico Collins, and he didn't have Tank Dell. The best wide receiver that was available for the Texans was Noah Brown. That was a game where guys like Noah Brown, Dalton Schultz, and Devin Singletary stepped up for the Texans to get a huge overtime win against the Titans. But at the same time, you were without Dell and Collins in that game. And then I want to go to Denver game against Denver, where you're facing Denver at home. Barely won this game as well, want to keep in mind. Denver was on a hot streak then. And I think the Texans really, ended the Denver season because Denver was on a huge run. They had won like 5 games in a row. And then we beat them. And then Denver really never recovered from that. Honestly, if they would have beat us, I think Denver could have made a playoff run. But, basically in that Denver game, Dell got injured in the first quarter in the Broncos game. Noah Brown was out in that game. I believe Robert Woods was also out. And Nico Collins had to step up and get like 249 receiving yards, whatever it was. It was almost 250, I believe he had. It was like either 240, it was like 240, it was like 246, 248, 249, something like that. So, I mean, you had 2 games I'm thinking about. I'm gonna go over to the next one. You have a game that I'm thinking about where you're without Nico and Tank in Tennessee with Case Keenum starting. In Denver without Tank and Noah Brown with C.J. Stroud starting. And then I'm gonna go to New York when the Texans played the Jets, got their ass kicked 30-6. Nico Collins got hurt in the first quarter of that game. Tank Dell was injured. That was the first game that we were without Tank, and so Tank missed that Jets game. Nico left the game. CJ's best wide receiver was I think Noah Brown might have been injured in that game too, if I'm not mistaken. So CJ Stroud had no one to throw the ball to in that New York Jets game, and then CJ Stroud got injured himself with a concussion. So those are 3 games I'm thinking about. The Jets, which was a loss, the Titans, which was a win, and then the Broncos too. But those are wins that the Texans are barely holding on to against bad teams. Yes, but the fact that they were injured. So I think it's good to have extra bodies that are going to help out. I know you've added in Stephon Diggs. You have, you've had, Tank Dell healthy. You've now traded for Ben Skowronek. So there are. I believe 8 guys in this wide receiver room who can step up for you. Ben Skowronek, Xavier Hutchinson, Noah Brown, Robert Woods, John Mechie, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, and Stephon Diggs. But there were times where multiple of these guys were injured. 2 or 3 of these guys were injured at a time. And a lot of the times, 3 games I mentioned, you're without some of your two of your top 3 guys. So let me know your thoughts, and peace out. Go Texans.